go ahead. Have we got a link for the
Yep,
YouTube?
and there we are. We're live. Let me move some links around. Where is my watch page? I don't have it open.
Is Mole joining us?
Mole should be along. I sent him the link right after I sent it to you, so we should see him here shortly.
Cool.
Alright, it appears that we are live. Everything seems to be going well. Our open link in new tab. If this comes through, I apologize. It's just going to be me. I'm trying to get to the page with the link on it because I didn't copy it, and this is stupid of me. Here we go, muted.
Oh, I thought I'd subscribed to you. Obviously, I haven't.
Oh, hold on. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet.
Don't subscribe?
Don't subscribe yet. Wait. I've been working on something cool.
Okay.
I just got to figure out where did my Hangout just go. And paste. And it should be in the Hangout link right there on the side. I'm going to move the Hangout out of the way. If I start getting choppy or anything, let me know, because I'm not monitoring audio for the stream right now. I'm just watching the levels bounce around with the little green lines like they tend to do.
I don't know, because I've had to mute the YouTube channel link, because if I don't, I'll end up having a
feedback error.
Yeah, talking to you and then hearing it like 2 seconds later, it'll drive me up the wall.
You want to know what else could drive you up the wall? Watch this. I've been working on some weird stuff. All right, so bear with me as I laughingly and playfully do this. All right, so I re-downloaded the Morphox Pro to mess with some more to see what it does. Because I downloaded it and then I had to reset my computer because my computer was acting terrible. So when I downloaded it, I changed the settings so that during the stream I can talk and this dog will bark behind me.
Oh, okay.
So, one element of my boredom. All right, are you watching the live stream?
I am, yeah. So I've got a spinning earth and like a teleprompter thingy, I think. Is it?
Yep. And this will probably come through. If you press the subscribe button, it should come up with a cool little GIF in detail. And I'm not sure how the audio is going to work, so we'll see how this goes live.
Okay, I've just clicked it. So
it's a 5-second delay.
Dum 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 dum.
I know, right? It's like, come on. I worked so hard on this, and it's not gonna work.
I worked very hard, mate. I had to click a
there
button.
It is.
Oh, I like that. That's cool.
I think that is freaking cool. I just made that this morning. I got really bored. I was like, I don't like that walking zombie, but I like the idea. Let me see if I can create something. So I made like 20-something images and created a gift show to make an opening casket with my head popping out. I'll make it better later, but I was just messing around.
I like the spinning earth as well. That's cool.
Yeah, I made some adaptations. I went looking for royalty-free video to put in the background, and I was trying to find something like gravestone-ish, because that's what most of my stuff goes towards, like the graveyard and, you know, the crypt and stuff like that, as my servers built up like. But I saw the spinning earth. I was like, that's not a bad idea, but I had to take a bunch of the brightness away because it was just too upbeat and bright for me. So I shaded it down just a little bit and did some little changes. I like the stars and how the lights change behind the board.
You don't like bright things, huh?
Yeah. I don't like... Well, I have this problem with my eyes. Inside your eyes, there's... I forget what it's called, but the inside of your eyes is a gelatiny substance that doesn't absorb or lose any contrast. And it's built out of proteins. And when the proteins line up specifically, they create these little strands that you can't really see, that your mind automatically interprets as not there because they're being seen between your vision and what you're seeing. When you're in bright lights, those stand out greatly.
Right.
So if I walk outside in the sun, I can see those little protein strands in my eyes, and they almost block certain areas of my vision.
I see.
I've asked my eye doctor about it. They said it's not a big issue. Plus, I've looked into it. Even if it were a big issue, there's nothing I can do unless it gets worse or I see certain little... there's indicators of a possibility that you're going blind, and that's seeing like a white staticky field that with brightish and darkish shades on the outer edges of your eyes.
Yeah.
So I've been watching out for little things.
I love the way you say it's not a big issue. Well, it's not a big issue until you can't see the car that's about to bloody hit you.
My vision is actually really good. I just started wearing reading glasses again because I've been sitting at my computer a lot, and when I stare at things, when I look at something for too long, my eyes tend to lose focus, and the reading glasses help me keep focus on it.
Yeah.
They're not very strong. It's just enough to keep my eyes from blurring out what I'm seeing. But I'm farsighted, so when I drive, I'm fine. But then when the sun comes out really bright and hits me in the eyes, I have to have sunglasses or I can't drive.
I'm short-sighted, but I think I'm gonna have to get some sort of bifocal soon or something, because if I'm reading up close, I can't do it with my glasses anymore. And I went to the optician. Last time I went to the optician, they said, "Oh, your prescription's too strong." I was like, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "Well, your glasses are too strong." I said, "Well, I've been all right with my prescription for the last 20 years." They said, "Yeah, that's because when you get older, your brain can't compensate for the fact that it's too strong." So yeah. They've had to weaken my actual glasses strength now.
My wife in 10 years is probably going to have a set of binoculars or something like that, because every time she goes in, they have to strengthen her prescription just a little, and she's nearsighted. So, and she's to the point where she's nearsighted. She can see about 8 to 10 inches in front of her face, blurry, and then nothing without glasses.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, she's nearsighted badly. I'm farsighted, and I'm just watching mine because of the little protein things in my eyes. Sometimes that can lead to them building up. I mean, it's not, if you look into it, it's not a huge issue. It doesn't happen a lot, but there's signs that once you start getting a lot of those, you have to watch out for to see if you're going blind. So I've been watching. Once in a while, I see the like little dots on the outer edge of my eye, but not like it's described in what I read. And I did take it to my eye doctor, so.
Yeah. There's a few people in chat now.
Is there?
More than last.
What's up? Hello.
More than our last one.
That has to be numbed. I don't have to be numbed. I am numbed. Derek, how we doing?
So, we waiting for
non-wrench. We're not really waiting for anybody. We're just kind of hanging out and chatting. So if anybody in the chat has anything they want to talk about, we'll be happy to talk about it.
Did you have a good laugh at Oprah Winfrey?
All right, so yeah, I was chatting with somebody at the gas station the other day when that came out on the newspapers. I take a walk at like 4:30 in the morning, and I go down to the gas station. I get one of those instant coffees and a couple of sodas, and I chat with the gas station guy for like 5 or 10 minutes while we have a cigarette outside, and then I was looking at the newspaper, and I was like, it's going to be an interesting election in 2020. We're going to have Trump running for re-election. We're going to have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson running. We're going to have Oprah Winfrey running. We're going to have... Instead of being like a presidential nomination, it's going to be like a Hollywood Golden Globe Award or something. Who's going to win the presidential globe today?
I think... is it just you? Are you roboting a bit there? Or is it...
Am I roboting, or am I just moving around too much?
You're breaking up a lot.
All right, why don't I do this? Why don't I make sure it's not my bandwidth? I seem to be going through good, so it's probably just crap I'm doing, which would make only too much sense.
You can imagine the Rock and standing at the podium going, "You can smell. Can you smell what the Rock is cooking us? Is it something like that?
Yeah.
I can't remember now. It's been so long.
Can you smell what the Rock is cooking? Yeah, it's been. I don't think he's even gonna do that. It's just, I thought I saw something about him filling out the paperwork to be able to run for president. Not that he actually filled out the paper to run for president. Just there's apparently there's forms you have to file, and I actually looked into it personally because I'm of the eligible age, and I thought, well, if Donald Trump can do it, why not look and see what's really involved, right?
Yeah.
So if you look, you actually have to fill out the paperwork for each state's voter registration. So if you want to run for president in the United States, you have to abide by every law of every state to be able to run, or you can't run in that state. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's funny because I have a felony record, and in most states in the United States, a felony record does not discount you from running for political office. But there are a few states that a felony record prohibits you from running for political office. Now, if you run for a federal office, whether or not the state election allows that person to vote for you doesn't matter, as long as you get enough states and electoral votes to win. So technically, a felon in the United States can run for president.
You've got
an uphill battle, yeah, because there's several states that they cannot vote for you in, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it does.
It was kind of dumb, but if you look at state by state electoral law, each law has its own laws. Robert James Ritchie. Who's Robert James Ritchie? And a welcome Bass Trap to the. I'm assuming that's Bass Trap Kayla. To the chat. How you doing today? Dark Sasuke, how you doing? Yeah, I said it right.
Yeah, no, I was just checking my sound because you are breaking up a lot.
Am I breaking up? Huh.
Is chat here and breaking up as well, or is it just me?
Am I crackling out, or is it just me moving around?
There's a lot of crackling.
A lot of crackling. I tell you what I'll do. I bet you it's because of this dog bark thingy. Yeah, because my computer's starting to run a little slow. Give me a second. I'm going to crackle for a minute in and out here as my computer catches up, but it looks like it just did it. I should be good now.
Yeah.
Yeah? Am I coming through all right? Am I coming through loud and clear?
It's a little bit better, yeah. It's still a little bit there, but it's not destructive or nothing.
If it's my mic, I will return the mic. This is an $80 piece of equipment. If it's the mic, I'm going to be mad.
Well, no, it's only just started it wasn't like that at the beginning. It just started in the last 5-7 minutes.
It could just be the bandwidth I was using because I was running. I have to run voice meter for some of what I do because of how many settings I have now. And then I've got OBS running. I've got the Google Hangout running. I've got a couple of apps running so that if people sub, that little things pop up on the window and whatnot, just because I try to make it interesting.
Yeah.
I've got all the other stuff running on another computer to monitor Twitter and the stream so that I don't have to use the bandwidth watching the stream and running it. So I should be all right now. I just closed down all the extra voice programs and everything that I'm not using for the most part. But my computer's still getting a little bit of a lag because of the spinning globe, I think.
Right. It's livable.
Well, so let's go back to that presidential thing. If Trump runs again, the only way he's going to get reelected is if he does enough of what he promised the first time. Oprah is going to be a joke. She'll get votes, but I don't think she'll actually get nominated into office.
Well, to be fair with you, Oprah has already said that she has no intentions of it.
I think she knows that she'd be a joke.
Well, she also knows that the amount of crap they'll dig up on her is just ridiculous. It's already started.
You get a
Like,
car, and you get a car, and you get a car. Oh, wait, taxpayers are paying for this. How are you giving out cars now?
well, it's not only that. I mean, there was a video of Oprah Winfrey that's come out saying she hates Christians. What is it? Hang on a sec. Let me find it. Oh, hang on. Come on. Oh, Twitter's died. There's a shock.
What did I do with the mouse to my wife's computer?
I think Twitter's dying a death anyway, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, YouTube has been a little finicky lately. How many people that are in the chat got a notification that I was going live? Anybody? Or did you see it on Twitter? Because I'm curious about that. YouTube has really been messing with channels. I commented the other day about them doing it to the Kumite and to Failure Accomplished. But my wife goes in and checks on my profile from time to time to see if I'm doing anything interesting or that she might find funny or give to her friends, you know. And she'll look down and go, what time did you stream today? The normal time? Why? Because it says you streamed at 2 o'clock. I didn't stream at 2 o'clock. Yesterday morning when I was putting in my show, I put it in for 9 a.m. Eastern time. It popped up and said you're supposed to be live 2 minutes ago waiting on you. Then I switched it to a later time in the day. It went off by an hour of the time I switched it to. So then I switched it back to 9 and then it went to the proper time. And then nobody still got an alert right when I sent the half hour beforehand alert out because my backup profile didn't get it. So I'm trying to figure out what is going on. Why are people not getting alerted to live streams? And even when I Twitter it, it's like, okay, are people seeing this? Because the YouTube link on Twitter isn't always loading the what's it called? The thumbnail for the live stream that you're doing. It's just loading the URL instead of the thumbnail, so they're messing with you every way around you go.
Yeah, yep. No, I didn't get a notification, but I don't know if I follow you on Twitter actually. I might have to. I'll have to. Yeah, no. There was this True Pundit webpage, right? Damning Oprah video services anti-Christianity rant goes viral. And she isn't even running yet.
Gotta stop them now. Stop them before they think they're gonna do something.
Yeah.
Gotta fight the war before the guns are made.
Tell you something, the left have a serious problem at the moment. I was looking at a story about there was a ex-politician who's gone into Celebrity Big Brother, and she said that Meghan Markle is a bit of a problem for the royal family due to her background, and automatically the whole of the left have started calling her racist. She said background, right? And it's like, well, have you ever thought it might not be because of her skin color, but because of what she's done? Because apparently she's a bit of a libtard herself, isn't she?
Oh, yeah. Meghan
Markle, so.
I don't pay attention as much with the other country stuff, but I tend to watch those ones. There was one, I want to say middle of December. There was a lady and a gentleman out in front of Britain's, that big hall, that big, I can't think. Not my country. They were out there arguing about how men's rights and women's rights were and weren't being talked about, and it's like, but wait, what is going on here? You don't you want to push for women's. I don't know what I just pressed enter on. You want to push for women's rights. That's fine, but
yeah.
But the argument isn't that we don't want to push for women's rights. It's don't push for women's rights at the expense of pushing everybody else aside, because society has worked for as long as it's worked because people work together. When you start saying, no, we need to give favoritism to these people because they probably haven't seen that favoritism before, it's like, Okay, so you're showing them favoritism for the sake of favoritism, for the sake of how they were born, for the sake of equality that they have no control over, instead of earning what you're after, and meritocracy versus
it's the whole
what's the
premise
word?
of
Yeah.
what you call it affirmative action, don't you? It used to be called positive discrimination because that's essentially what it is, isn't it? I mean, spoiler alert, if anyone hasn't watched Star Wars yet, I mean, I haven't, but I watched all the spoilers because I heard it was a bag of shite. Um, but everything in Star Wars, yeah, and there's a few films coming out like this now. Is the women can do no wrong, and everything bad is done by a white man.
Yeah, all right, you know what, though? I can see where sometimes, and I've been trying to look at some of the statistics, if you look at things by the numbers, then, yeah, it looks like white men do everything. But I forget who it was, broke down one of the statistics for 2017's gun deaths and something. I forget who I was watching. When you break it down, it seems that in retrospect, both men and women, black and white, all prefer to shoot at white, or no, I'm saying that wrong. It's white men and women prefer to shoot white men.
Right, yeah.
How does that, I forget how the rest of the breakdown go, but you actually have to sit there and look at the numbers versus the per capita, and white man, please your woman, wait, I gotta read that on another screen. I'm reading that funny. Wait, what? White woman, what? Oh, Jesus was a murderer. I gotta get near my mic again. Jesus was a murderer. This is not the way. The way is lost. This is the way.
Hang on a minute. I take offense to that. I've never murdered anyone.
Does that little ant last week count? The millipede with the magnifying glass last year. The butterfly with the toothpick that I showed my daughter? How about the salamander we put in the gutter? No, we didn't murder him. We let him free.
Jesus is my official name. Don't use it outside of office hours. Thank you.
Oh, God. I am not your God. I'm somebody else's.
Sorry, hang on. If I carry on, my ego might turn to the same size as Sargon's.
This is not the way. Do you know the way?
Ooh, do I know the way?
Picture. I'm not copying Tonka all the way, but this is not the way. Do you know the way?
You sound like Tonka trying to do an impression of JF.
Do I?
Actually, Tonka does a really good impression of JF.
This is not the way. We must discuss the way to end this political problem, and then we will discover a way to move on with the world as it is.
Move on with the world. Blow it up and start again.
Hey, I can do that. Wait, where's my mouse? I lost my cursor. I lost my cursor. Which one is it? Is it image? No, it's not image. Yes, it is. No, it's this one up here. You didn't hear that, but they can all see it.
It hasn't. Oh, there you go. Yay, it's gone.
I can blow up the world. Just make sure you subscribe and hit that thumbs up button and mark that little bell on the side.
Where's Mole?
I know. I sent him another link, and we are live and an alert, and I haven't gotten anything back.
Oh, he's gone.
Did he fall asleep?
According to Discord, he's away.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah, these things happen.
Oh.
I could only stay till about 10 to 3. I've got to go and pick my son up.
Yeah, I usually only try to run for about an hour. just jibber jabber and chit chat and whatnot works for me. My laptop cooling pad is clicking, click, click, click. Must be a piece of plastic got stuck in it.
So did you vote for Trump or?
Believe it or
Actually,
not,
that's a loaded question, isn't it?
That is a loaded question. I didn't like Trump and I didn't like Hillary. I went in and voted for the local town, and I won't go into what they are. But there was a whole bunch of local voting going on. What was the dumbass's name? I liked some of his policies a whole lot better than Trump and Clinton, but I can't think of what his name is now. I guess that does me.
one of the Republicans against him in the primaries.
Yes.
Ted Cruz?
No, the nutty guy. The one who one of his speeches.
Technically, they're all nutty to run for president or prime minister. You've got to have a bit of nutty about you.
Yeah, it was the one who went into one of his speeches and says, "I don't know why we're worried about it. In 4,000 years, the world's gonna be crashed into the sun or something." And I broke out laughing. I was like, "That's the guy I'm voting for right there." Doesn't matter what we do now. The world's just gonna end in 4,000 years. So let's make the best of it. Okay, I'm good with that. I like your philosophy. You're my new president.
Actually, I thought it was more like 4 billion, isn't it? I mean, when the sun expands to such a point it engulfs the earth.
The scientific question there is the sun going to continue to expand, or in its expansion, is it going to hit a cooling phase and begin to die? They don't know. There's also a possibility I read about. I
always read that it would expand as it cools because
the
it loses
sun
energy.
From a neighboring solar system and ours are supposed to come within some sort of gravimetric pull within 400,000 years, and the two of them will slowly cascade into a binary star or something like that.
Ah, okay, so that might happen first then.
Also, there's an article somewhere that I read that says, while you cannot detect a black hole, what you can detect is the phenomenon caused around the black hole. And they think they may have detected one just outside of our universe, and they don't know. I don't remember if they know what direction it's moving in, but there's a wandering black hole out there.
Yeah, okay. I was going to
keep
say,
that in mind.
You can't detect a black hole. I beg to differ. If you got close enough, I'm pretty sure you'd bloody detect it.
You cannot detect a black hole. You can only detect the phenomenon caused by.
What I mean is the gravitational field would be so strong you'd be pulled into it. So I'm pretty sure you detect it strong enough, soon enough when you get too close.
Do you know what that's called? Do you know what that's called when you get pulled in by a black hole's gravitational field? There's a word for it.
Not off the top of my head.
It's called.
I've probably heard it.
It's called spaghettification.
Isn't that what happens when you get sucked into it? Because the gravitational field is so strong it pulls you apart.
No, it's not because this field is so strong. To be better explained, the closer you get, the stronger the field gets. So as you're pulling in closer, you're still also on the outer edge, and you are literally stretched in time and distance between the outer edge of regularity and the inner edge. And as you're being stretched, it's called spaghettification. So you actually exist on the outer rim and on the inner rim as you spaghettify inwards. But you never realize that you're going any farther in because you can't see in because nothing escapes.
Well, that's the theory behind it.
So what you are seeing is you're seeing the time dilation, I guess is a good way to put it, between you entering and becoming... How's a good way to put that? I'm not a scientist. It's really hard describing a black hole.
That's because, well, theoretically, that in reality, we don't actually know what would happen.
And even if we could find out, we wouldn't know.
Well, yeah, even if we found out, we'd never know. Did you ever watch that film? Oh God, what was that film with Mahogany? No, what's his name?
What's it about? I'm better about storylines than I am about the people in it.
it's just a black hole. What's it called? Anne Hathaway's in it. Matthew Mahogany. Begins with an I.
Chat, help.
I can't remember the bloody name of it. I was actually one of the few people who enjoyed the film as well, I think.
Dark Sasuke, Gary Johnson. Yes.
Shoot.
Okay, so I am a numbskull. I will admit to that, Nugs. It's outside our galaxy.
Yeah, not universe.
How do you know our universes aren't colliding? This is an omniverse or the multiverse.
What's it called?
See, I always had a theory. What if black holes were just the doorways into dark matter and negative matter space? Like, or not, no, I'm saying that wrong. Hold on. Let me rethink how I want to say that. There's a theory.
Interstellar, that's it.
Interstellar. I think I have seen that. There's the, I say theory because it can't be proved, on how when the universe began, there was matter and antimatter. And matter overtook antimatter enough to cause the explosions that they did, and blah blah blah. I'm a numbskull. Remember, let's get this out slowly because I only mostly somewhat understand a little tiny fraction of how this all goes. What if the black holes are the antimatter remnants cascading, and that on the other side of a black hole is an antimatter mirrored universe? I know, my mind is gone.
Oh, no, don't say that, Dark Suzuki, because that means there'll be 2 Batman versus Supermans. Ugh.
That means we're just in the wrong universe because Superman really won that battle.
I actually enjoyed that film, you know.
All right, there's one thing I didn't understand. All right, and anybody who knows comic book lore,
there's a lot of films I enjoy, which involve just switching your brain off and not having to think.
Right. All right. So if Batman has a suit made of kryptonite that's ultra powerful and obviously robotic and can take the blow from Superman, it wouldn't even matter because in previous shows, movies, and comic strips, if Superman moves fast enough, he can impale into that suit and then take the damage as he falls and Batman goes fucking flying away from him. Does that make sense? That suit does not make Batman a iron wall to Superman. It just protects him from taking damage from Superman. So Superman could have literally just flown up at light speed, hit him, and bounced him out of the solar system. Boom, you're done. Bye. And then Superman can just sit there and go, "Oh, cool. That's as it goes farther away, I feel better and stronger."
Well, in Superman lore, he can take a bit of damage from kryptonite, can't he? Because, well, was it part of lore? Superman Returns with Brendan Ruth. He picked up that entire island, didn't he? And there was kryptonite on that island. He died afterwards, like for a bit, but was severely injured, should we say?
Yeah.
When he fell back to Earth, but he managed to pick up a load of kryptonite then. But I thought, wasn't Superman in Batman vs. Superman, he was more weakened by the gas of kryptonite, wasn't he? Kryptonite?
Yeah, because Batman,
because he breathed it in.
Super intelligent, yeah, and all his super intelligence had done, gas bombs and this and that. But I'm sorry, Superman versus Batman. Batman's smart. It takes time to develop and get to things, and he does not move that fast. Superman can blow, burn with a laser, freeze. He can. He has incredible strength, lightning fast speed. You're gonna tell me Batman with a suit and some gas took out Superman? And better yet, on the premise that, well, I don't believe just because he's been saving people for all this long that he's not one day going to enslave the whole population. What? Are you secretly the I can be the only good guy? It's the car. Nobody else can have the car.
If you go on the old Dungeons and Dragons sort of route, you'd say that Superman is it good, whereas Batman is chaotic good.
Yeah. I guess because Batman is in a constant internal struggle with himself over how he's supposed to do things.
Yeah, I must admit though, Ben Affleck really did impress me as Batman. I thought he was really good as Batman.
Yeah,
and I'm no great fan of Ben Affleck, but I have to give him that.
All right, you know what I have to say? I have to say it like this. This would be the best way for them to do it. And I don't know how old you are, how old of the movies you remember. But
to dox myself a little bit more, I'm 43.
Okay, so way back when, and I can't think of his name, the Batman or the Superman that just died,
Christopher Reeve.
Christopher Reeves.
Yeah.
When Christopher Reeves was selected to be Superman, he had some acting experience, I believe, but not a lot. And when they selected him to be Superman, that kind of made his role. All right. And what they're doing now is they're going, okay, well, we want to make sure we highlight how important this movie is to us. So instead of trying to find somebody and make this the Batman everybody wants to see, let's find somebody everybody likes and put them in the suit because that's what's going to be important. No, make a Batman. Make that character fresh. And then you can do whatever you like with it as you go. Stop using... Granted, I love seeing movies that actors who know what they're doing are in. But there's plenty of movies that can be made. Stop trying to push them all into the same movie.
Yeah. Well, it's Batman. People who play Batman, I have a set list of an order, not including Adam West. But an order of Batmen I've enjoyed. Not from a film point of view, but from their suitability of being there. And Christian Bale, I thought was absolutely superb.
Yeah, I think I remember. Wait, which that was the original Batman's? That was the Forever.
No, that was
or not the original. That was one.
That was like the Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight. That's right. The original was the
Christian
1979, where they're climbing up the side of the building to get to the boardroom where where they're all drinking water, but there's something in the water. I think. Oh, I haven't seen that movie in so long. I used to love that movie when they'd actually stop and go, pow,
but
bam.
Here's a really controversial view, which I think your chat might agree. My second favorite Batman was Val Kilmer. Because Val Kilmer is an arsehole, right? He's a moody bastard.
I know Batman.
He actually suits Batman down to a T.
Val Kilmer's the one who played when they caught the Joker, and at the end of that one, he goes, "I'm the Batman." Yep, he's actually crazy, and then that's where the movie ends as they're walking down the hallway.
But yeah, I actually enjoyed him as Batman. But then again, I also liked a lot of people didn't, but I actually enjoyed. Oh God, was it Timothy Dalton as James Bond?
A bald fat Batman. I believe that was done. There's a cartoon series. Also, I believe that's sort of made pun to in SpongeBob. I'm sorry, just me. I tend to think that the shorter, fatter superhero in SpongeBob is a funny version of Batman.
Yeah.
Is that Mole? No, that's not.
Who else? I'm still here. Has Mole joined? Does he?
No, I thought I did. I thought I heard an extra background noise, and I just looked over to the other screen. I was like, nope, that's just you.
Oh no, my phone just vibrated. Sorry.
Yeah, mine will do that too. I tried to throw them on the carpet, but that doesn't always work either.
Well, one of the things I hate about my phone is the fact that if you turn the volume on and then turn it off again every single time, it'll just go straight into vibrate. You have to turn vibrate off manually. It's a pain in the arse.
It didn't used to be like that on the older phones. You could
no, it didn't.
One.
Well, even in the older versions of Android, you didn't have to do that. I'm pretty sure you could turn
down there and not.
Oh well, he started streaming an hour earlier than he used to. That's interesting.
What's that?
I was trying to watch Family with Money's show, and his show used to come on right after mine. And I used to get out of mine and then kind of listen to his as I cleaned up my show and got all the publishing and stuff up. Now he started at the same time, apparently. I guess that's all right, though. He knows the way. Somebody must know the way.
I like to think I know the way sometimes.
If I don't know the way.
This has been fun, this chat. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's fun just to sit and BS for a while. Plus, even if we only have a few, we still have our fans that love to just say, hello, how are you all doing?
Hey, speaking of black holes and that, do you remember the series Andromeda with...
Yes.
That was superb, that. Plus
that was only, 3 seasons?
I'm going to admit this. I had a major crush on Lexa Doig.
Oh.
The one who played the personification of Andromeda.
I'm trying to remember which one Andromeda is, because I love sci-fi shows.
Kevin Sorbo. It's the one where they get stuck on the event horizon of a black hole.
Oh, yeah! I think I watched all of that, too.
That was superb. That
like every episode.
I had a major crush on Lexa Doig. I even actually watched... what Halloween was it, where they were in space in the future? I even put myself through that because Lexa Doig was in it.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. I want to say they only ran for... No, they ran for 5 years.
Yeah, it wasn't a short one. It lasted quite a while, like.
I don't know. 5 years, I guess, is still kind of short for a show, considering The Simpsons has been running for like 25.
A damn sight longer than I hope Discovery lasts for.
Yeah.
Star Trek Discovery, oh my god, what an abomination that is.
I kind of fell out of Star Trek. It's almost like they're trying to keep up with other shows. I was upset with how Stargate Universe went. I thought when that first few shows came out for the first season of Universe, I thought, wow, they're going to take this show and make it collide with technological advances. Almost like Eureka, which is another short-lived show, did. And the first few episodes, they had those charging pads where they could put their equipment down on that table and it would charge their equipment up because they couldn't figure out how to recharge what they had.
Yeah. And then, Data Wasteland. Sorry, mate. Someone in chat. Data Wasteland. I like the Orville. I'm dying to see that because I've heard brilliant things about that.
That's the one where they have explosions that pop up all over the world, and then all of a sudden planes start dropping Chinese and Korean, shipments into the United States. And is that the one?
No, the
Everybody
Orville
suffers from the EMP.
The Orville is it's not Star Trek, but it's more like Star Trek than bloody Discovery. Plus the fact I hate Discovery because Jason Isaacs is an asshole.
I actually haven't watched it.
He blocked me on Twitter, because I called him a hypocritical fuckwit. He's always going on about Trump being a sexual assaultist. So I was like, I tweeted him one day. I said, "You're a fucking hypocritical fuckwit, you." And he said, "Why? Because I celebrate sexual assault or something like that." So I tweeted him a page from a newspaper which said he knew about Harvey Weinstein. I said, "No, that's why you're a hypocritical fuckwit. Because you knew about him and didn't say anything." So he blocked me.
Harvey Weinstein, I guess, depending on where and how you look at it, Harvey Weinstein's one of those weird things. If you, every time you do something like that, ask for permission to do it, and this is where you get into a cloudy area. If you're someone's boss or someone's asking you for a job, obviously you shouldn't be doing it. But, I mean, this is Hollywood. It's freelance work. This isn't where you work for an employer and your raise is based on how well you perform or how well you blow the boss in that case. This is a, hey, you would do good in this job, I'd like you in this job, but while you're here, you are very attractive, and can I do this? Okay, now that's a wholly different circumstance. If she said no and he did it anyways, show something that said that he forced or said, look, I'll give you this job, but you have to stand here and watch.
Well, do you know the other thing that gets me is, and I don't normally publicly state this. I certainly want to state it on Twitter because the nuance of what you're trying to say will never come across
Properly, that's right.
Yeah, but you know this like Me Too movement and this, that, and the other, and all these. Everyone's saying, "Oh, these women are brave." Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, hang on a minute. Gwyneth Paltrow, one of those ones you were saying were brave for coming out and having a go at Weinstein. Well, how come in 2013 in the Oscars she could stand up in front of everyone and bloody praise him?
Yeah.
She couldn't have been that shamed.
Yeah, it's just there's
and she's still
both sides are so conflated on this.
So how how? I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's about time Hollywood did collapse in on itself because it is a cesspool.
And I have a very, very big opinion. There is no reason one person should make $15 million to show up in a movie that's a couple hours long. The amount of money that goes into just that one segment of our lives is just, it makes you go, what?
Yeah.
Now, I understand, okay, you guys want to make $5-6 million. That's a huge number. And you're going to pay a good part of that in taxes, I understand, and that's also crap. But it's to the point where I looked up my measly household income last year and went, how at $22,000, barely scraping by to pay all the bills on what we make as an income, you know, keeping our bills lined up with our income. Do you know we're somewhere in the 50% percentile in the United States on income, not even making $23,000 a year at a legitimate job? There's 55% of the country makes less than that. Are you serious? How do you live making less than that? There's something wrong with those stats.
And it's quite funny how it's always those people who moan about, like, Trump's given you a massive tax cut, hasn't he?
I hope so.
You know, and it's
but when you read through it, it's really not. There's different sections to it. So supposedly, in the end, those people at, I want to say, like 50, 60,000 and less are going to see a tax cut, but it's almost going to balance out to be very little. It's a few $100 here and there.
It's better than nothing, mate.
Absolutely better than nothing. I will take $100. I'll take an extra $5 out of nowhere. I don't care. Give me my damn money back.
Yeah.
Of $23,000 earned income this year, I want to say we've only seen 16 of it, if that, come in. Maybe 17 of it come in because of taxes. You know, Don't get me wrong. I live in an area where, you know, I'm right on the edge of poverty, but I stay above it just because if I start to slip, I will cancel services to keep me where I'm supposed to be. Of course, Christmas this month right here is always our tightest point of the year. Until we get back through tax time, and then what I do, and the reason we don't get a lot, is I make sure to let the government take all the taxes they think they're going to need all year. And then take an extra $10 to the state, take an extra $10 to the federal. Here you go. Just keep taking my money. Go ahead. At the end of the year, I'm going to claim every tax credit and every ability I qualify for, and you guys are already overpaid. So here's my little savings account to myself. Once a year, I know I'm getting back what I overpaid. I know I'm not expending any more than I've already done, so I know I don't have another big bill to worry about when tax time comes. I know I'm getting something back. And when my kids graduate and move out, I'm going to pay more into taxes as long as I have to pay taxes to make sure that I never have to worry about paying them a huge lump sum at the beginning of every year. Because this is already a tight point of year for me.
Do you, I'm not too up on American taxes, but you know, if you're employed, does your tax automatically get taken out of your pay every month?
It taxes, income taxes, Social Security taxes, Medicaid taxes, state income tax, federal, like there's a list of 7 or 8 taxes and fees that get taken out before they even take, well, sometimes before, sometimes after you even get your benefits taken out. I want to say some benefits are before tax, some benefits are post tax. So on your paycheck, you'll have like 3 sections. You'll have what you worked, how much you made, what your income is. You'll have all of your tax deductions, your pre-tax deductions, your taxations, and then your post-tax deductions. And then what you actually bring home.
Yeah, okay. No, so your system is pretty much the same as ours if you're employed by a company.
I have read the whole
we have what's called, you know, like PAYE, so our tax is taken out before we even get our pay. So, yeah, okay.
Yeah, cool. A lot of them are, but we still get taxed after that. Hold on.
Do you know what? Do you know what I always find funny is not to start an American stroke UK argument, right? Is I hear you guys complaining about the price of fuel. You know,
do you want me to complain about the price of fuel?
No. Oh, you want to complain about the price of fuel, mate? Come to the UK, right? What's it for you at the moment? Is it $3 a gallon?
No. I want to say locally we're under $2.
A gallon?
A gallon.
Jesus Christ!
But you know what? I'm gonna make everybody. Hold on. Before you continue, I'm gonna make everybody shock. I am one of those really smart shoppers, so I use every point and credit system possible. I set my wife to fill up the tank on my truck. For $20, she got 23 gallons of gas.
Oh, do you know what? You make me sick. Well, do you know in Britain? Do you know how much it is in Britain?
I'm gonna say probably about $8 a gallon, roughly.
It's £1.60 a liter,
and there's
which is about what? Which is about $2.70 to $3 a liter. So times that by
almost 4. It's times 3.78. I want to say
something like that. So it's probably about $10 a gallon.
Oh damn!
So whenever I hear someone from America complain about the price of fuel, I'm like, no.
Hold on, we'll get back to the fuel. The Nuggets has read the whole thing. Everyone is getting a great tax cut. We are getting a lot more write-off provisions in 8 years. This will increase and go back up. It's only 1%. I do not get taxes taken out of my check. I am 1099 self-employed contractor, so I have to manage my own taxes. Yes, I remember those days. I used to be a 1099. Watch a documentary, Freedom to Fascism. They say income tax is voluntary. Yeah, bull.
Well, is that in the US or the UK, though, Daisy Wasteland? Because in the UK, if you don't pay your tax, you are jailed.
In the US, you have a couple years of not paying your taxes, and then you go to federal jail. Not to mention the fact that they'll take your income if you have a job. They'll take everything you own if you have anything in your name. They'll do
you know what really pisses me off about the tax man, though? Is I don't know what it's like in America, but in Britain, you know, if you have tax to owe them, they're on you like a dose of salt and expect you to pay it in the next day or so. In if it's the other way around where they owe you money, you can bloody wait for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Last year, or a few years ago when I got terminated, I had to cash out my 401 because I wasn't allowed to roll it over. That's a retirement savings investment plan over here. So I had to cash it out. Well, when you cash out the plan early, you are fined by the company that you have it through. They take their percentage, and then you are fined by the government for cashing it out before the right time. And then you have to pay the government. I thought I filed it correctly. I paid all the fees and stuff, but apparently I filed it in the wrong spot, and then they amended it and sent me a bill. So the next year when I filed taxes, I called them up. I said, before I file, how do I pay this bill? Do I have to write it into my taxes? Is there a spot I fill out? They go, no, we'll take it out automatically. So I file my federal taxes, I file my state taxes, I make sure that everything's good, and like I said, I always overpay all year long, so the mistake didn't even really affect me. It was like almost $2,000.
Yeah.
Okay? But then they took it out because of the fact that it was a federal bill. They took it out of our federal taxes, and then they took it out of our state taxes too. Oh, so I called and said something like, oh, we don't understand what happened because we did receive your call and we noted your account. I was like, absolutely you did. And then you took it out of everything. So you doubled the amount you were supposed to take. And me, I'm one of those people. Once I have that number, it's okay. These are the bills that need to be paid immediately. This is where this amount needs to go and this is where this needs to get invested. And I'm sitting there going, because I partition everything. Like if I'm expecting that money goes onto a list. It gets broken down to who needs it the most, what bill is the most due, what credit card is, had the highest amount the longest, what would make everything work best for me. And then when it doesn't show up, you're like, okay, so now I got to rearrange this and this and this. And when you rearrange any bill, it always comes with interest and fees, so you always have to recalculate all your fees and whatnot.
I'd say something, mate. I'm even though I'm Christian, right, and I can still take the piss out of myself and my Christianity. But I'm telling you something: if ever you want proof that Satan exists, look at a fucking credit card.
I have credit cards, and I'm really wishing I didn't. But at the same time, I do have.
They're a godsend if you're ever in absolute need. But oh my god, after that, it's just a bloody nightmare.
Oh, I will agree. Yeah.
I must admit, I got in such a flaming state with my credit card.
There's a goal with a credit card, and I spent 5 or 6 months trying to figure out, because I had a 370 credit score because I'd screwed up when I was getting my credit started. I didn't pay attention, didn't care, and then I waited and waited. I screwed up a checking account. Now I'm older and I needed to buy a house and this and that, and I'm like, okay, what do? I managed to bring my credit score from below 400 up into the mid 500s in it almost took me 4 years to do that. And then by following all the stuff that I keep checking into, and I guess it's starting to change a little bit, so I'm trying to follow the changes as they're taking effect. The goal is to try and rotate out all the money you spend. So if anybody's listening and you have a credit card and you really want to increase your credit score, this is what you do. Do not spend money out of your paycheck or your bank account. Plan everything you're going to spend to come out of your card. Pay that card every single week, 2 weeks, or month. Make sure that payment's always on time, and make sure it's as large a payment as you can handle. When a credit card company realizes that you're moving money through them, they think that's cool because they get to earn money off of that. But if you pay the amount you spend before the interest takes over, you don't get interest on that amount, and it also counts as a high payment. High payments count in high regards to credit companies. For one of my cards, there is a little tiny writing on the bottom that says, if you pay at least $150 a month to your card, you will get an automatic increase eligibility notice. So, we went through our cards and I renegotiated all the bills to come out of the cards, and every paycheck goes into a card.
Right, okay.
Then when we go to apply for credit increases, and I still have to work this plan for roughly another 15 or 16 months to get to where I need to be. You keep paying the card, they keep giving you the credit increases. Once you hit a certain credit line, you're eligible for the excellent credit. Like, you cannot get excellent credit until you have an amount that you're able to get. Once you get past that amount, you pay off all of your cards and you stop using them.
Yeah.
Once you surpass the excellent credit line, which I want to say is $25,000. Once you surpass that line, there is no more building you can do. The best thing to do is keep your cards empty because they will continue to expand your limits because you're not using them. When you have a low credit score and you have a high balance, they will expand your card relatively quickly to get you to keep spending the money. If you keep pushing high payments back into it, they go, okay, they're doing this wisely, but they need more money to overspend. And they will give you higher increase limits. Once you surpass that limit you're looking for, you stop using the card. Now they're not making anything off of you because you're not using the card. Now they want you to have more money so you'll be frivolous. So now they'll take your $10,000 card and they'll, okay, we're going to give you $25,000. We're going to take your interest rate away, but you have to spend $200 a month on it.
Well, I went the other way. Because my credit cards got me so pissed off, once I paid them off, I stopped using them completely. Just stopped.
Yes.
Paid them all off and just stopped because I had 3 at one point and I was maxed out on 2 of them. And it was like, no, this is getting stupid, this. So we managed to pay them off and I cut 2 of them up. It was like, no, I'll have 1 for absolute emergencies and that's it.
I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. I am almost at the point where I can cut up 2 of my cards. I have 3. My wife has 3. And what we're doing is hers just hit the limit. So this year with her credit, we have to, when we pay the last of the 2 smaller cards off, we use them to get her above a limit. We hit her on that limit, so the other card picked it up and gave her a higher increase on the other card. So now that other card hits our where we need to be, which I want to say is just $3,000 on that 1 card for her credit score is the ideal number. Now we have to cancel the other 2 cards, and then once we do that, it should pick up through the credit history, the long-standing card having the highest amount. It'll see the drop, and it should double the... There's weird systems and formulas to follow, but she should get an increase once we cancel the other 2 cards. But it still leaves us in the ability that if we leave that 1 card empty for... I want to say it was October or November of 2018. If we leave 1 card paid off and empty till somewhere there toward the end of the year, it should double the limit on the card. Her credit score should be excellent by the end of 2018, and she's in middle good right now. I'm on the bottom of good.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Oh,
I had
Christ,
poor credit just a few years ago. I just bought a house. I'm about to buy a second property that my mom owned before she passed away. So I'm trying to take every dollar and penny and use it in just the right place.
Yeah. Oh, Christ, it's 3 o'clock. I'm going to have to go and pick up my lad, mate.
Oh, it is. All right. Thank you. It's been fun just jibber-jabbering. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Don't forget to hit that thumb up. Anthony, you put your link over in the side if you got one.
Do you want to do it again next time? Soon?
Next week? Yeah. We'll talk about doing this maybe Tuesday in between my other shows.
Yeah, you can hit me up on Twitter on here. There you go. That's my Twitter account.
All right.
Anyway, guys, yeah, it's been good. There's a few topics I want to talk about actually. So
yeah, we'll just have to start making a list and have a plan. I can put the list right up on the board and we can just run right down through what we want to talk about. Today was just we were like, hey, you want to talk? Yeah, sure. Let's get on tomorrow after my kids go to school. Sounds great. All right.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Have a good day. Thanks for joining.
Cheers.
Later.
Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.
Now I got to figure out how to end this. Right.